大家好，我是菲菲老师。Today, let's continue with part 2 of lesson 14. First of all, let's go through text 2. 你们会说汉语了，也会写汉字了吗？我们都会写了。老师，我听不见，请大家不要说话，请听老师的问题。你们都会写哪些汉字了？我会写这些汉字了。您看。Okay, as usual, let's go through two questions related to the text. First one, 同学们汉语了 A 想说 B 不会说 C 都会说 Okay, second one, 陈鹏鹏王老师在说什么 A 听见了 B 没听见 C 不想听 Okay, let's listen to the text again. 你们会说汉语了，也会写汉字了吗？我们都会写了。老师，我听不见，请大家不要说话，请听老师的问题。你们都会写哪些汉字了？我会写这些汉字了。您看。Okay, first question. 同学们 Here we should choose C, right? Original sentence, first one. 你们会说汉语了。Okay, second one. 陈鹏鹏 right? 陈鹏鹏我听不见 right? 我听不见 So we should choose B, right? B. 老师，我听不见 I can't hear. 我听不见 So we should choose B. 没听见 Okay, C and B. Did you get it all right? Now, next, let's go through the new words. You can read after me. 写都听见不要说话汉语汉字听哪些字Okay, first one, 写 So we have learned to read, right? To read. Let's review a little bit. How do we say to read in Chinese? 读 right? 读 Okay. 读 second tone 读 And then after we can read, of course we can write, right? Write. So the word for write is 写 For example, 写汉字 write 汉字写书 write a book, right? Write. Okay, 请在这里写你的名字 Please write your name here, right? 在这里 here 在 If it's before a location, then it is indicating that location, right? It connects the location. So, 请在这里写你的名字 Please write your name here. Okay, next one. 他会写一些汉字 What about 一些 right? 一些 So, 一点 we know is 一点 we know is a bit, right? A bit. So if it's 一些 means something that is in a group, more things in a group. So 一些 we can translate it into some. 她会写一些汉字 She can write some characters. If it's 一点 then she can write a little bit of characters. Okay, 一些 And then next word 听见 hear 听见 To say the negative form 没听见 I didn't hear 没听见 So next one we have to actually differentiate 听不见 and 没听见听不见 is more emphasizing can't hear. For example, if the environment is very loud, is very crowded, is very loud, you cannot hear, you say 我听不见 If, for example, you missed it, you were not paying attention and then you missed it, you say 没听见 It's more emphasizing I didn't hear. didn't hear. So 听不见 and 没听见, both of them are the negative form, but the meaning is there's a difference in the meaning, right? So you have to pay attention here. For example, 我说的话你听见了吗？对不起，我没听见。Right? Did you hear what I say? I'm sorry, I didn't hear. I didn't hear. Okay. Or I didn't get it. I didn't listen. Right, next one. 我听不见老师说的话。I cannot hear what the teacher says. This is probably because, for example, the classroom is very crowded, it's very loud. You cannot hear, right, the difference. Okay, 听见. Next one. 不要,不要. 不 and 要, we both learn it, right? So if we put it together, it means I don't. Right? Don't. For example, 不要唱歌了. Don't sing. Don't sing. 爸爸在工作呢. Father is working. Right here, 在, it's before a verb, so it means that the verb, the action is happening. Right? 爸爸在工作呢. So my question is, why do we use 了 here? How do we explain the 了 here? Okay, 不要唱歌了. It means change of state, right? Change of status. Before you were singing, and then I'm telling you now, please don't sing anymore. Please change the status of singing to not singing. 不要唱歌了，爸爸在工作呢。Okay. 你不要说了，我不想听。你不要说了。Don't say anymore, right? You don't say anymore. I don't want to hear it. 了 again, same logic, change of status. Before you were talking, and now please don't talk anymore. I don't want to hear. I don't want to listen. Okay, next one. 说话, 说话. Actually, you have seen 说 many times, right? 说 to speak. 说话. Same thing. To say, to speak, to talk. This is what we talked about in a previous lesson, the separable verbs, separable words, right? Because 话 itself can have a meaning. It means speech, it means language, it means anything that you say. Right? Okay, for example, 我女儿2岁了，还不会说话。My daughter is 2 years old, 还不会说话. She still cannot talk. Next one, 昨天他和我说了很多话. Right? So here you can see that the word, the separable word, is separated, and then the components in between is actually quite long, right? 说了很多话. 昨天他和我说了很多话. Here, what is the meaning of 了? What is the meaning of 了? So here, it's not the change of status anymore, right? It's the new meaning that we learned in the previous lesson. It means that the action has been completed. 昨天他和我, 昨天 yesterday, right? So he talked to me yesterday, right? So here we have 了, the action of talking has been completed. So yesterday he talked to me like for a lot. He said a lot of things to me. 说了很多话, 很多, many, a lot. So he said to me a lot yesterday. Okay, 说话. Next one, 听, 听. We have already 听见, right? 听见. So here, 听, again, is the verb that you can also use independently. 听, For example, 听歌, 听歌. 听课, 听课. 听歌, listen to the music, listen to the song. 听课, listen to the class. 听课. For example, 她很喜欢听中文歌. She really likes to listen to Chinese songs. Okay. 你听,火车来了. 你听, right? It's like you listen, like here, right? But listen, the train is coming. 火车来了. Train is coming. Okay, next one. 哪些, 哪些, easy one, right? Easy. We learned 那些, 这些, these, those. So 哪些, 哪些. We're asking which ones. For example, 哪些书是你的? Which books are yours? 今天我们要做哪些事? 事, what is 事? Things or matters, right? Things. So what do we need to do? What are we going to do? 要做 going to do. What are we going to do today? Right? 是 So 哪些 if you use 些 you are implying it's a plural, right? Which ones? If you say 哪个 right? 哪个 then it's more which one? The singular form. Which one? Okay, very good. Next, 字 we actually know this from 汉字, right? 汉字 Chinese characters. So 字 means character, one single character. 汉字写字 write a character. And then next 个 the measure word for 字 we can use 个一个字 one character. 我弟弟还不会写字. My little brother, right? 弟弟 little brother still cannot write characters. 他写了20个字，想休息一下。他写了20个字，想休息一下。What is le here? Le. It's right after the verb, so the verb has been completed, has been done, right? 他写了20个字。He has wrote 20 characters. He wants to take a break. 字 okay. Next one, 汉语 Chinese language, the language we are learning right now, right? 汉语 Okay, for example, 学汉语 studying, learning Chinese. 汉语歌 Chinese songs. 汉语课 Chinese lessons. Okay, for example, 我喜欢学汉语 I like to study Chinese. 他是我们的中文老师 He is our 我们的 our Chinese teacher. Okay, so I think you might have a question, right? Because we have learned 汉语 and also 中文. What is the difference between 汉语 and 中文? So, for simplicity, in our everyday conversation, in our everyday language, actually these two are have the same meaning. They all mean Chinese. 汉语 Chinese, 中文 Chinese, right? So you can use both. It's the same. But if we really want to know what is the little difference between these two, let's take a look at the words themselves. 汉语. First of all, what is Han? Han. It actually means the Han ethnic group. The Han ethnic group, which is the major, like the biggest ethnic group in China. So for example, I am also from the Han ethnic group. I'm also Han. So the language, 语 language, right? So the literal meaning of 汉语 is language used by the Han ethnic group, right? Han ethnic group, 汉语. And then 中文, 中 here it refers to 中国, 文 also language, speech, language. So the language used in China, used by Chinese. So actually, if we really wanted to like differentiate these two in meaning, they are a little bit different, but you only need to know that actually in daily language, let's just use them equally, like it's the same, right? And then after 汉语 and 中文, we have another one. Probably you've heard it before, which is 普通话. 普通话. What is 普通话? It is actually Mandarin. Right? Mandarin. The language that we are speaking right now is the standard official language of China. 普通话, Mandarin. So, of course, we have a lot of dialects in China. So, for example, I'm from Sichuan, the Sichuan province. So, we have Sichuan dialect. If you're from, for example, Beijing, right? Beijing, you actually also have Beijing dialect. The dialect in Beijing is not the 普通话, is not the standard Chinese that everybody use. Also, like Shanghai, you have Shanghai dialect. So, 普通话, Mandarin, is also the language that we are speaking right now. 普通话. Okay, so we have three. 汉语, 中文, 普通话. Okay. Next word. 汉字, right? 汉字. We're so familiar with this already. 汉字, Chinese character, 汉字. 写汉字, write character. 一个汉字, same measure word, right? 个, 一个汉字. 我想学习写汉字. I want to learn to write Chinese characters. 他觉得写汉字非常好玩。玩 is what? 玩 to play, right? To play. So 好玩 same logic with 好吃 right? 吃 the verb to eat. If you add 好 good before 吃 it becomes delicious. So if you add 好 before 玩好玩 it could mean it's very interesting, it's very fun, it's very interesting. So 他觉得he thinks writing Chinese characters is very interesting. 非常好玩 Okay, next word. Next, let's see. This is also a new word and also a language point. It is called do. Do. The pronunciation. First tone. Do. So let's see the definition. The scope adverb do means all, both, or in general. The object being generalized is placed before do. When negating, the negative word is placed after do. Right? Okay, let's see in examples what exactly this means. So, first sentence, 我们都会写了。我们都会写了。How do we translate this one? We all can write. We all can write. So it actually means that all of us, we can write, right? All of us. So in English, you can actually have two ways of saying this. For example, let's use another example. The meals are all good. Or we can say, all meals are good. All meals are good, right? So both of these two structures, both of these two are correct, but in Chinese, let's see here, the object being generalized is placed before do. So what is the object being generalized here? It is the meals, right? Meals. So we have to put it before do, then our sentence becomes meals. What? Meals is 饭, right? 饭. 饭都 all good. You can say delicious, right? All delicious. What is delicious? 好吃, right? So 饭都好吃，饭都好吃. All meals are delicious. The meals are all delicious. If you change it, for example, if we change it following the English structure, for example, all meals are good. 都饭好吃. Then this sentence doesn't exist, right? This is a wrong sentence. So the only choice is 饭都好吃. We put the object that is being generalized before 都, so 饭都好吃, right? Okay, so for example, let's see another example sentence. 同学们都没听见。同学们都没听见。没 the negative word, right? So we put it after the do. How do we translate this one? 同学们都没听见。The students all didn't hear. The students all didn't hear. 同学们都没听见。All of the students, they didn't hear, right? Okay, so about the negative word, it's not that if it's after a do, it have to always be may. No, it doesn't work like that. It follows what the verb is. For example, if you say 听见, the negative word for 听见 is 没听见, right? 没听见. But for example, you can also say 同学们都不去, 都不去. All students, they don't go, right? They don't go. So the negative word for 去 to go is 不去, 不去. So all students, they don't go, right? The negative word is depending on what the verb is. So you put it after do, right? First of all, object that is being generalized, and then do, and then negative word, and then you have your verb, right? 同学们都不去. All students don't go. What if we change it into 同学们都没去. 同学们都没去. What's the meaning? 同学们都没去. All students, they didn't go. right? Didn't. We say the difference between 没 and 不. If they didn't do something, we say they 没去. If we say they are not going to do something, 同学们都不去. They don't do it, right? Okay, this is scope adverb. 都, right? 都. I hope you understand this. If you have any further questions about this, you're more than welcome to post it in the comments and then I will answer it, right? Okay, so let's go to the third text of lesson 14. First of all, let's read it through. 明年女儿上中学，对，儿子也上小学了。我们家有了一个中学生，还有了一个小学生。上学后，他们都忙了。是的，太晚了，睡觉吧。Okay, first question. 明年女儿 A 上小学 ，B 上中学 ，C 上大学。Second one, 孩子们都忙了。A 上学 ，B 上学前 ，C 上学后。Let's listen to the text again. 明年女儿上小学，对，儿子也上小学了。我们家有了一个中学生，还有了一个小学生。上学后，他们都忙了。是的，太晚了，睡觉吧。Okay. First one, 明年女儿。明年女儿 right? Exactly same, exactly original sentence. 明年女儿上中学 right? 上中学 So we choose B, 上中学 Second one, 忙 right? Let's locate the keyword 忙 busy, right? 忙 So 上学后他们都忙了上学后 we choose C, right? 上学后 So B and C. Did you get it? Okay, let's see the new words. Please read after me. 明年上中学小学中学生小学生上学他们晚 Okay, let's see them one by one. First one, 明年 next year. So we learned 年 means year, right? 明年 So what about this year? How do we say this year? Yes, right here. 今年 right? 今年 this year. And then what about last year? 去年 last year. 去年 Okay, for example, 明年哥哥上大学 Next year, little bigger brother, older brother, go to university. 哥哥 older brother. 我们明年要去北京玩 We're going to travel to Beijing next year. 明年 next year. 上 We see this quite often, right? 上 So here, actually the definition we see is begin to do something at a fixed time. A bit abstract, right? A bit abstract. Let's see. So normally we put it before a school. For example, 上小学 primary school, 上中学 middle school, and 大学 university. Right? So if you use 上 plus this school, it means that you're attending this school. You're going this school. And then 上课, you are taking the class. 上班, you are going to work. 我8点上课 I take class at 8 o'clock. Begin to do something at a fixed time. So I do my classes at 8. 弟弟明年上小学 Little brother goes to primary school next year. So he begin to go to primary school next year. Right? So normally 上 we can connect this with school, class, or work. Something that you have to do. Right? Okay, 上 Next one, 中学 easy, right? 中学 middle school. We see this quite often. 中学 中学生 if we add the 生学生 so it becomes middle school student, right? 学生 we know student. 中学生 middle school student. 小学 primary school. So in China, normally we go to primary school from 6 years old to 12, 6 years of primary school. And then 小学生 if you're a primary school student, you are 小学生. Okay, 上学 So 上 same word here, right? 上 begin to do something at a fixed time. So 上学 go to school. You start to go to school. 上学我今天生病了，不去上学。I'm 生病 is what? 生病 get sick, right? I'm sick today. I'm not going to school. 妹妹上了一年学 Again, 上学 is a separable verb, right? So we can insert 了一年 between 上学 It means my little sister has been attending school, has been going to school for a year. 学了很多东西. She has learned many things. Okay. And then next, let's see 3 pronouns. 他们 and 他们, right? We've seen this before actually. So 他们 they, them, the more general 他们. So you can just mean both male, female, and all of them in a group, right? 他们, more general one. And then here we have 他们. So this with the female 汉字 right here with 女 on the left, specifically you're referring to a female group of people, right? They, them, all female. And then if you use this 他, so 他 means object or animals, right? So 他们 you're referring to some things or some animals. For example, 我家有一只猫和一只狗。我很喜欢他们，他们 I really like them. So them here, you're referring to the dog and the cat. Okay, all right, next word, 晚. Before we actually see this already, right? For example, we know 晚上. It means evening or night, right? 晚上. So actually, when 晚 standing alone, it can be an adjective, means late. For example, 太晚了 it's too late. 我们回家吧 let's go home. 对不起，我今天来晚了。I'm sorry, I arrived late. I come late today, right? 晚. So, what about 早? The word 早. So before we learned it means morning, right? Morning. 早饭, breakfast, morning. So actually, 早 standing alone, it could also mean early. Early. For example, you can say 太早了, right? 太早了. It's too early. 太早了, right? Okay, 晚. Right. Next, after learning all the new words from lesson 14, let's do the comprehensive exercises. I have 4 groups of sentences, and then please fill in from A to E these 5 words into the blanks, right? You can pause the video here and resume after you get all the answers. Okay, so let's see it together. First one, 我写了很多汉字, right? I wrote or I have written a lot of Chinese characters. 我写了, right? 了 after the verb, it means that the action has been done. Right, next one. 他没听见老师说什么。他没听见 He didn't hear what the teacher was saying. 他没听见。你们昨天在车上做什么了？ What did you do in the car yesterday? Right? 我看了一本书. I read a book. 有的人在睡觉. Some people are sleeping, right? 有的 some people are sleeping. Last one. 明年上学后, right? After 明年上学后, after going to school next year, 他们都忙了. They all become busy, right? 了 here, change of status. So we can translate it as they all become busy because before they were not busy and now they are. So 他们都忙了, 都 in general, or both, right? So we put the object that is being generalized before, 都, so 他们, they all become busy, right? Okay, very good. Did you get it? All right. Next, homework of lesson 14. I have 4 pictures here. Please use everything you learned from lesson 14 to fill in the blank in the sentences, right? So there's no absolute right or wrong answer. You can use whatever you learned in the class. Okay, last but not least, again, our Hanzi chart, right? These are all the important characters that you are supposed to recognize, right? At least recognize in lesson 14. Okay, so that's everything of lesson 14. I will see you in next lesson. 再见。